My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, and I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Noonas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And I'm not dying. I just have the flu again. I need to apologize.
And it's the flu.
It's just the flu. It's not
just the flu.
It's just the flu. I would actually need to leave my house for it to be anything else. So, no, it's just the flu. I'm apparently the only person in the world who got the flu this year, according to the news.
Yeah.
Masks really help.
They do.
Yeah, shocker. Anyway, we're back with another segment that people really and we really enjoy doing, which is the What We're Listening To segment. So if you're new to the podcast, every once in a while we'll be doing an episode, a two-parter. So one episode will come out today, which is the Monday, and then one will come out on Wednesday. So go check that out when it comes out. And that is where we talk about the things that we're currently listening to and the things that we're currently watching. So the first one this week will be what we are currently listening to. So who wants to take it away? Amanda, take it away.
All right. I'll start off with today, day of recording, not day of you guys listening, but PH1 had a new song come out today. He's been teasing it for a while. It's 3, 6, 5, and 7, which people were like, thought it was something really, really cryptic. And I kept thinking, like, am I missing something? 3, 6, 5, 7. It's a pretty standard, like, statement, guys.
3, 6, 5,
like, it means
7 days a week.
all the days. Like, it's not really. Does it have to have a 24 afterwards for you guys to like? And they're like, I don't think that's like the 365 is definitely the days of the, but like, I don't think that's what the 7 is. And I'm like, are you sure, guys? Because
are you unfamiliar with how, in the Gregorian calendar time is counted?
I was like, so
do we need to go over this again?
I mean, it's a song, like a duet with Jamie about being in love, like 365, 7 days a week.
It's not that
cute.
difficult.
It's a fun little song. I enjoy it. On the sort of like way opposite side of the spectrum, he also featured on a is it Ace Hashimoto song called Girls this past month, and that one is like the total opposite theme song wise. Like, it's like, girl, I love you, but I also love girls. So I can't settle down because these are the best days of my life. So I gotta like spread my wild oats and like, I love you, but I love them too. So it's like, okay.
Listen, unless that's previously agreed upon in your relationship, that's a real shit move, my dude.
This is true. It's a little weird for me because I'm like, really, PH1, you want me to like believe you're out there sowing your wild oats? Okay, I feels like a lie, but sure.
Suspension of disbelief is a bit much.
Yeah.
I'm
You'd have to leave your home for that.
Yeah,
sweetie.
that's what I was about to say. I'm like, I'm pretty sure like he leaves his house as much as I do. So.
Yeah, but like last month's, like, or a few weeks ago, his love theme to his puppy was more believable to me than I love lots of girls, but whatever. Okay, sure. I'll let his mom deal with him on that one. Cozy Pop put out a new one of their collaboration albums. It's good. The songs are good. There's always good songs on these. This one had the cover. It's Soul Vibes Aqua, and so it's a gorgeous aqua cover with a pink pair of roller skates in the middle of it. And I'm like, it's like they made it just for me. So thanks, Cozy Pop. There's great songs on it as usual because there's always good songs. They have good taste over there at Cozy Pop. Really into the 2Z album. What's it called? Act 1, I think. I really like the song 1822, but I don't know what it stands for. I looked up the English lyrics and they're just kind of lyrics. They don't really tell you anything. So I was like, I'm gonna Google like 1822 historical events in Korea. There was like a huge like rebellion that ended in like mass murder and stuff, and I'm like, wow, this is a really upbeat song if that's what they're referencing.
I bet it's like the Korean or even like the English sounds like a word.
Maybe.
So it's like a slang.
kind of like the recent song 5K, which it's because in Korean it comes out okay, and so he sings okay like 5 billion times in the song.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, oh yeah, it's a play, it's a pun,
gotcha,
it's a word
pun.
So it's possible, yeah, it's something to that effect of the numbers sounding like words, and they do that a lot. They like superimposing the numbers for the words.
So I should look that up and see if that maybe makes it.
We need
more
like
sense.
a young
it
kid
could
just to
you
be
never
like
know
her.
with Koreans, right? It could just be a really upbeat song about a horrible event that eventually, it kind of sounds like was the beginning of the opening of the gates for the Japanese like takeover and stuff too. So yeah, but I learned a lot of things about like this Queen Min, who like, I don't know, she might be like a villain in historical events now, but like I would really enjoy watching her like time slip drama about, because she seems really ahead of her time. She was like an orphan who married into royalty because she wouldn't have any like family to like cause problems, and then she just went and basically found all the people from her family tree that had the same name and was like, okay, you guys are my family now. I hate my father-in-law and I want to like basically stage a coup against him, so like you're my family and give me power. And she basically took over everything.
Okay.
So
well,
I'm like, I want that drama. Like
you gotta appreciate the moxie,
the hustle.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Saw what you want and just decided it was.
Listen,
she went for it. It sounded like her dad. Her father-in-law sounds like he was kind of a loser too. Like he intentionally picked her because he put like his son went on the throne with like when he was too young to rule, so then that meant dad got to rule, so he didn't want to share his power with any in-laws, so he intentionally went out and found an orphan so that to marry his son so that he could stay in power. And then she was kind of like, but I think my husband's the king, so like think we should have the power, so bye.
Sucks to be you, buddy, but I think I like looked at who's actually supposed to be in charge on paper, and it's like,
and it kind of sounds like she was into like stuff. So like it could be. I mean, that could have
quite the rabbit hole you went down.
Yeah, it was. I was like, I like this song, and now I'm like, woo, heavy into like the history. Okay,
and you're like, I don't even know if this song's related, but now I'm invested in this historical tale I've become part of.
Oh, if you're listening and you know whether it's a play on words or it's historical reference of some sort, maybe it's their street address growing up or something. I don't know, because when I first searched 1822 Korea, it gave me a whole bunch of like Google Maps addresses. So it's like, I don't think sounds like what they're singing about, but you know what? It's
I feel like it would, if it was their house number, it'd be pretty ballsy to put in your house number and address out there. Like, exactly. Like we know how crazy some of these say things can get. Like that would be a ballsy move.
Spotify threw a new singer at me. Well, I don't know how new he is, but new to me. It's, I don't know if it's pronounced Gao or like Go Wei or Go Wee, but Gowe. Mostly sings in English, so I suspect I haven't had a chance. I was too busy looking at like Korean history and orphan queens, so I didn't like do a deep dive into him. But he had a bunch of songs that I was listening to, but one that really stuck out is called Portals. It's a duet with singer Essay, and so chill and just has a very like smoky piano bar kind of vibe to it. Like just, I like it. It's I feel like I use like it's got a chill vibe like way too much on this podcast, but apparently that's what I'm listening to these days. So Lamsey had a song with Stella Jang, Fortune Teller. It's so good. I love it. It's just, I don't know. I like it. I like Stella. Her voice is great.
Yeah,
And
she's
Lamsey has
awesome.
a great voice. So the two great voices together singing about stuff.
She's also really cool. Like her history and stuff. I watched her on a radio show with Astro once. And like they talked about like her educational background. Like she's just brilliant. She's the type of person that like went to school for music and, you know, composes all her own stuff. Like she's really cool.
I like that. I like when they get to have actual creative control of stuff. And
Yeah.
And you can see it. You can feel it in their music. So Penomeko, I think, moved over to P Nation and released a song called Jaja, which is great. It's super fun. And then I just saw today too that like Swings just signed with P Nation too. So like Sai's just collecting them all up over there, and then apparently giving them free reign and letting them do whatever they want. So,
and it's like interesting since he started doing this, all the things that's coming out of there are really good and enjoyable.
Yeah.
And it's bizarre
weird.
how that happened.
Also, most importantly, the one moneymaker that he's got there was female, and he let her do things multiple times.
Yep.
Like,
well, I mean,
Jessie is literally the one bringing in all that money into that company right now. Not to say that the other artists aren't doing well, but like literally she is loved by the regular public. And so
she's doing so much better than she was before. Like, you know, and
funny thing, let the girls do stuff, you know?
Hey,
and it's like,
works.
and it's when you let a woman be her own personality and not what you like expect her to be, somehow she becomes endearing to the public and people enjoy her music and her personality and her own variety show that she runs. And that's really fucking weird. Like,
I like how he's been announcing the new artist, the little image of him like as like a checker in guy, and like a little it looks very Budapest Hotel-esque, like mustache and stuff. It's funny.
I feel
you can tell he had fun with that.
I feel like he's enjoying being a CEO.
And it's kind of funny because you see, like, when you compare it, the way it appears from the outside anyway, you compare it to some of the other companies, and they're so in control, and like, you know, they have to work really hard for their money, whereas like Sai appears to just be letting them do whatever they want. He foots the bill and then he rakes in the cash, and it doesn't really look like he's doing much. And like that, like, work smarter, not harder. Like, just good job, sir.
Give some pointers and let him run. Like,
perfect. Love it. Toil put out a new album. It's a bunch of collabs with all kinds of different artists. It's good. They're good. They're good songs. I don't know what to tell you. He's got a great voice and lots of good songs on there. A lot of variety in the style and stuff too. So I really like the song Spring, I think it was called. Something like that. It's Spring, featuring Ash Island. And maybe just because it's spring here, or it was for like 3 days, it was spring, and then it was like done.
Spring was like, sorry, this was a mistake. Debuted too early. I take it back.
Sorry. I didn't mean. Oh, it was like an auto post, and it just went out too early. I'm sorry.
My bad.
That's funny.
Back on my, chill vibe songs, also kind of goes with the theme of weather that's making me mad. There's a song called Sunny Day Rain by Neon. It's a really nice song, very chill, very cool, but also rain and sunny days. It's been my week. It's like, I'm over it. So, but it's a good song, so I'll forgive the song. O&F put out a repackage, released the song Ugly Dance, which kind of starts out with a little bit of Beautiful. It's just a little bit, and then it goes into its own thing. And I haven't had a chance to listen to the whole album yet, but apparently the new songs that are on there all kind of feed off of songs from the last album, like from the original album. So the couple of new songs kind of work that way. Realist and Dreamer kind of work together as well, apparently. So I need to sit down and listen to it all that way and hear how it's all connected. I don't know, Spotify's like pulling a Vicky over here, but Jeff Satur from Ingredients, he's a Thai actor, singer, released the song Goodbye Not Goodbye, which was in the Ingredients soundtrack kind of thing. It was in the final episode. It's a really nice song, really lovely, just, you know, the goodbye that's not goodbye kind of deal. It's marked as explicit on Spotify. There's no swearing. He's not talking about graphic sex. But, you know, the cover is him and Gameplay, like, smiling at each other, and it's, you know, from a gay show. So I guess it's explicit music now, Spotify. Okay.
We're all shaking our heads. You can't see that we're all shaking our heads, but we are.
How could they show two men looking at each other on a cover? How
scandalous. Oh my god.
Considering all those other drama OSTs that also have two men looking at each other on the cover, just maybe not romantic dramas.
Right? I just don't know. And then, especially because it's so hit or miss on Spotify, like some of the stuff that you get that's not marked explicit, you're like, oh, there's a lot of graphic things being said in those lyrics that I don't really want my kid hearing, but I guess it's not explicit, but this is, I love you and I'll miss you while I'm gone. And that is just crossing a line. Like,
Amanda, it's not explicit so long as it's hetero. Don't you know the rules? Like, hello. It's only inappropriate if it's queer.
Apparently.
All right, it's just that we don't make the rules, apparently.
Spotify, get it together. And finally, Rina Sawayama had a song with Elton John. Like, they have a really cute, really pretty, I mean, basically it's our theme song. It's called Chosen Family, and it is just a beautiful song about how we don't have to share DNA or a surname. You're the person that I choose. You're my chosen family. And, you know, this is, and it's just a pretty song. Like, it's very, if you're an Elton John fan from back in the day, it's got kind of Candle in the Wind kind of vibes, but like happy, not kind of sad. But it's just that sort of classic Elton John sort of piano ballad type song, and it's really beautiful. I could foresee this being a very big on the wedding circuit for the, you know, the people who maybe aren't really close with their actual families anymore, and they're building a new family. Could be their song. But I also thought the visuals of an old white guy and a Asian person singing right now about how we can all get along, is, given the things that are going on right now with anti-Asian violence and stuff, it was an interesting visual too. So maybe it was somewhat intentional as far as that goes as well. But the song is good. It's really just, I enjoyed it. So yeah, that's kind of I said ONF, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's it for me. How about you, Jessie?
Well, I haven't been listening to much, just because I've been listening to like stuff that I already have. So, Day 6 came out with a mini album, the last like full mini album they'll have for a while, because Sungjin is officially in the military, and Young K is very close to having to do that too. So this is like the last album with all of them for a couple of years. That's okay. I like it. It's not one of my favorites. The title is You Make Me, and I really wish they hadn't titled it that. Like, I understand why they titled it, but like they already have a song that like goes, you make me say wow, and so like every single time You Make Me comes on, I just finish it with say wow,
right?
Which is a completely different type of song to You Make Me. So, but it's like a good solid like day 6 song. You listen to it and you're like, this is a day 6 song. Above the Clouds is my favorite off of the album though. So it's good. And just today they released a very short but like a band version, music video version. So it's just them, instead of like the music video has like a storyline to it with other people, which is like kind of par for the course for day 6 with like other couples, kind of doing the story. But yeah, so I've been listening to a lot of day 6 because of this. They came out with stuff and I was like, I miss them. And then Sungjin's been active on social media now, and I'm like, I gotta listen to all of day 6. In like actual K-pop like things, I don't know why this is not a song that I generally would gravitate towards, but like I'm in love with Weekly's After School. It's got me. I like have it stuck in my head. It's one of those things that I have it stuck in my head, and then I'm not like mad about it being stuck in my head. It's like a really cute song if you haven't listened to it. I think it's a like really good song, and I guess it was actually supposed to be their debut song. If you don't know, Weekly's a girl group that like sort of just debuted, maybe the end of last year. Like I think this is only their second comeback or something. It's
right, one
of their first. But it's very cute. They're on skateboards, and it's a cute video too.
I want to say a bit about the music video. They actually skateboard, like they are capable of skateboarding, and show that they.
Yeah,
I approve of this.
They trained for a couple months for the video.
I approve of this message. I enjoy the fact that they were skater girls that actually skated. That is important.
Yes. I like it.
I think they're cute. Like I think like out of the like groups that are in that kind of age bracket, I think they're doing the best. I think they have a good group, like solid group on like their members, but they also are doing videos and music that I feel is age appropriate to literally their target audience, because they're definitely, their target audience is a lot younger. They're not girl crush by any means, and they're staying within the confines of that, and they're not being like or sexual or like doing stuff that like the people who would be listening to their music wouldn't be able to connect to. And I think that's like they've got a really good grasp on that kind of side of it. So
like when I watch music shows, I kind of get irrationally angry when I see the much younger girl groups coming out in like super short pajama, like and when I say pajamas, not actually pajamas, more like teddies, like things that I'm just like it's obviously for older male viewers when it's a very young girl group. It's like,
and it's weird, but it's also like weird in terms of like, it's still the most people who would be listening and enjoying the song would be younger girls. And so that like, also
like how does it affect them?
Yeah, it hurts them like in terms of what they're seeing, and then also just in terms of what they're seeing like from those male viewers too. And I think Weekly's just good. They like, it's like, the song is literally about like, going to meet the like your crush after school, and they're all, they're just like, doing fun things. They're like making a little iPhone video, and then they're like on their skateboards, and they're kind of just playing around like outside of school, and it's very cute. If you haven't listened to it, you should. I don't know if I talked about this last time, but that's okay if I did. Emerge is a Japanese artist. She came out with Walpurgis, which is their album. A couple of the songs have been already out because that's just the way that the Japanese releases work. They usually like put singles out for the 6 months leading to the actual drop of the album. So one of the songs was one of my favorites of last year, so that's on it. But like the entire album is like really, really good if you've never listened to Aimer. And Wonderland is so good. It's one of the like songs. There's a full music video out, which is like, she usually doesn't do like full music videos, but she has like since the pandemic started to do it, like, but it's still like heavily like, you know, got a little graphic about like Walpurgis coming out, blah blah blah, you know, that sort of thing. But like, it's so good. It's got this like, it's this creepy Wonderland, Alice in Wonderland vibe to it, but it's got like string instrument. It's just so good. Like if you are looking for a good vocalist, her stuff is really good. In OSTs, the Taxi Driver OST and the Mouse OST, consistently every single time, like I follow like a YouTube channel that just like posts the OSTs when they come up. Every time they come out, like those two, I've always loved like all of what they're like putting out. Like, but Taxi Driver is like,
yeah, the Taxi Driver one is so
really good. It's really, really good. So if you're looking for some OSTs to like zero in on, I suggest those. What else? Oh, you didn't talk about this, Amanda. Did you Ibada and Winona Oaks Lonely Hearts Club?
No. Yeah.
It's a really good song. If you haven't listened to that one, definitely. I really like Ibada. Like I like don't listen to her like regularly, like I don't focus on her, but like when she comes out with stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, I really like her.
Yeah, she's got a great voice
and
style. Like I just
another vocalist that I've never really listened to. It's Minhei J, I think is her name. She came out with Knock Knock. It's really good. It's kind of got like a R&B feel to it, and I've been kind of listening sporadically to some of her older things, and I've enjoyed it. But yeah, really, I've just been listening to like random stuff. Like right now I'm listening to Dreamcatcher. Like it's just anything that I already have like playlists for. But I will say that just today I saw it. There's this duo called Norazo. I think that's how you pronounce their name. If you've never listened to them or know of them, you very much should. They're great. But they're a duo that does kind of like comedic stuff. So kind of along the veins of like what's the face from
Weird
SNL.
Al?
Well, Weird Al or like SNL.
Yeah, the island.
Lonely Island.
Lonely Island.
So like they're very like they're well produced comedies, like fun songs. And today they came out with one that's called Vegetable.
Oh, I need to go check it out.
So good, but you cannot, I repeat, you cannot, your first experience with it cannot be listening. You have to go watch the video. I like there's no option for you. You have to watch the music video first. And then
you need the full experience of them before you can just listen.
They're so fun. And like the songs are very catchy and they're very trotty. They've got like a, you know, they're not, they kind of don't even like, they're like halfway to try because they kind of like bridge this like trot pop mix and they do it really well.
So on that Favorite Entertainment show, they actually came and talked to the Super 5 guys to like teach them how to be at festivals. Cause at the time before the pandemic was so big, they were planning on doing the festival circuit that year. And so Norazo is huge on the festival circuit. Like they just go everywhere. And so they talked to them all about like how to kind of work the crowd and work the old ladies and like all this stuff. And then they talked about kind of the comedy side things. The main guy, he's actually very soft-spoken and like very, very nice. Like he's such a nice guy. I do want to give one small warning about their music. There are a couple of older songs that like have some cultural appropriation issues, but as far as their more recent ones, you're pretty safe. But like,
this music video that I'm like talking about, definitely safe. And once you see it, you'll know why I'm like telling you to watch this.
and I do want to say like, the cultural appropriation thing came up, and he ultimately apologized for it.
That's good.
Later on too. So he made a public apology, and he's a very sweet man. So like once he figured out that was not cool, he's like, okay, like he wanted to make sure people understood that he knew that. So Anyway, I just wanted people to know, like, just there's a couple songs
Yeah.
in the back, just push them to the back and ignore those, and
Yeah.
everything
else is happy.
They did an OST for the Mr. Queen soundtrack.
His
Just looking them up,
outfits,
and I was like,
his
oh.
outfits are always awesome too.
The hair,
It's very
the
important,
hair.
and
Okay.
that's actually
Yeah.
what they did with the Super 5 kids. They dressed them in like crazy Naruto outfits. It was a good time.
So good. It's so good.
No, like I thought I'd never heard of them, but then I went and I was like, oh, I already liked some
Cider.
of their songs. So
Yeah.
Cider's one
yeah.
of my favorites.
I love Cider.
because then he would put like a big Sprite, like huge liter bottle, like in his hair. It
Yeah,
was
like
awesome.
he would. I can't even, like you can't even describe it. Like it sounds like you're just making shit up when you try to describe what they look like on. What I love is like they have like the crazy one and then the straight man. So it's sort of like they're a comedy act with like the straight man character.
They
and
used
the
to have
wild-
one guy and he left, and so then he had to replace, and even that guy's like backstory is really fascinating because was he in China? Like he was in a different country performing and he was doing fairly well, and so he had to figure out like if he wanted to come be a part of Naruto or not.
Well, I think what's like interesting about them is like if you don't know Korean and you just listen to their songs and didn't watch their music videos, you wouldn't actually know a lot of them are parody, like comedy
Right.
stuff. So like
it just feels like an almost trot fun song. Is
yeah,
what
it's
they
just
would
like a
usually
fun
feel like.
song, and you're like, oh yeah, and then you're like, and then you like read the lyrics or watch the music video, and you're like, oh, oh, interesting.
Like one of the music videos and songs, it's about like a shower or like pretty much being at a sauna. He actually had a fan meeting in a sauna once because of that. Like that's the way his fan base is. That's the way he is. It's really funny.
Fun times. What about you, Natalia?
So I too have not really been venturing too far into new stuff just because I'm going through like a weird just like we all are. But I did really enjoy ENHYPEN's I don't know.
EpiPen.
ENHYPEN's new album, Border Carnival. But it's really good. Like it's really enjoyable. And one of my sweet babies, The 8, came out with like a little solo track, side by side, and it's really cute and really sweet. I just, I love my little 17 boys. I love them. Good boys. They're good boys. I really liked Wee-in's new song, Watercolor. Really loved it. Very nice. And, I also really liked New West's new album. What is the name of the album? Romanticize. Really
You've been
enjoying
listening to new stuff. Look at you.
Yeah, right?
New things you're listening to.
I've been listening to
You're
some
beating me out
stuff.
on some of these that I haven't gotten around to yet. Shoot.
Yeah.
Listen, it comes. I like listen to like the newest in K-pop Spotify thing. So like these come up, and then I'm like, oh, what one's this? And then I'll go listen to the album and be like, oh, I really like this. And I did discover a new group. I will say the way I discovered them was less than ideal, but I actually like the music more than the music videos, which is what someone sent me to get me to go. Anyway, I've been listening to Only One Of. I really liked, the music video, first off, is not the sexual deviance fest.
It's actually very well done.
It's very tame.
It felt very story almost.
Yeah,
like
it felt okay. It did feel very gay, but like not in
there was tension, but it was not this
because it's like more interpretive dance than it is actually like dance choreograph.
Yeah,
dance, which I think is like what everybody's focusing on and not getting.
And the song is tight.
Yeah.
The song is tight, and like it's a good song. You know what? Like I get what the group is doing. Like they're trying to make a name for themselves. You know what? I appreciate the hustle. You have very nice abs, fellas. I love the dude with the long hair. I'm glad he can now see. They let him put his hands. I'm really enjoying it. King Daniel came out with a new song, Antidote, and he's one of my babies, so I of course listened to that. And Wendy from Red Velvet,
yeah.
had a solo come out, and it was
Very
like
pretty
water.
music video.
Very
So many
pretty.
flowers. So pretty.
And then my four fellas, Shiny, they had their repackage of the song Atlantis. That was really fun. That I've been, listen, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with Shiny. There's a reason why there's 5 billion podcasts about Shiny alone. Everyone loves Shiny. They're great. I also this isn't even I've just been listening to a lot of stuff because good friend of the show and found family member Beth sent me a care package recently that was just an insane amount of albums. And then I was just looking through them, okay? I was like, ooh, Stray Kids album. And I opened the box and about 5 billion photo cards fell out. So, and I'm not kidding.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, Beth, you're crazy. You're crazy. That's all I have to say.
And thank you would be
Thank
the other
you so
thing to
much.
say.
No, I thanked her 5 billion. I'm like, Beth, she does this to me all the time. She's a wild woman, and we love her here. So I've just been enjoying listening to those, being like, ooh, I'll go listen to this. I don't actually listen. Okay, I don't own a CD player, so it's not like I can actually listen to the CDs, but I will go find them on Spotify.
From having the album.
Yeah, so I've listened to a lot of Stray Kids, and though I will talk about this a little bit more on our episode on Wednesday, I've been really enjoying the past 2 weeks of the show Kingdom Legendary War, and in these past 2 weeks they each had to switch songs with another group and do it in their own style, and it's a wild ride.
And some of them are on Spotify now, so that's good.
Yeah, only 2 right now, but they're all on YouTube, so you can all go watch them. But I just have to say that Icon and ATEEZ switch songs. Holy shit, it was good. Icon did Inception, which was
in the most icon way they could icon.
They iconed the hell out of it. And then ATEEZ did Rhythm Ta.
And they ATEEZ the hell out of it.
It was a completely different song while being the same song. That's cool. Mind-blowingly good. The show, I continue to... Anyway, I'll talk about that later. But yeah, that's basically what I've been listening to, You check in for Wednesday. I'll have more to say on that note. But, Sky, what have you been watching? What have you been listening to? No.
So, last time we had an episode like this, Astro was about to have their comeback within 3 days of when but then it dropped, and I was even talking to one of my friends, and she was like, I was wondering why you didn't mention Astro, but then you said that. It's like, yeah, we pre-recorded, so I couldn't say anything about it. So Astro did have a comeback, and their title song "One" is really, really good.
It's so good. It's one of my favorite K-pop songs of the year. I completely forgot that it was in this month.
It's so good.
It's so good.
I didn't forget, but I didn't want to say
Thank you.
because I knew it was her baby.
Jessie was like, I can't stop listening to it.
I couldn't. I literally watched it 5 times. I'm sorry I didn't watch music videos underneath, so it didn't count to your views, but whatever.
Evidently YouTube was deleting a bazillion views anyway, so what, that game. Whatever.
Shenanigans.
Whatever.
It's a fun album. And the promotional song was All Good. It's very cute and fun. Come to find out, they actually, between One and All Good, they were torn on which song was going to be the title song as far as and so because they were having so much fun, the choreo for All Good is way easier for them, and that was another thing. They were like, this one's easier though. one is hard. Like doing one all the time is hard. But one out. They end up getting 4 music show wins, which that's the most they've ever gotten. So
Good
that's
job.
yay. And actually they've never gotten more than 1 before in a promotion period, so it was a big deal.
Wow.
And it was their first time to get M Countdown, to win M Countdown. So that was really exciting.
Awesome.
They almost got another one, but they were up against IU.
Oh no.
No,
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Now, no point. No point. Move on. You tried. It's been good.
So yeah, good music video too. Even good. There's a thing called Studio Choom, which is just a very nice like 4K version of their choreo and stuff. It's very pretty. It's the
I
first
love
time they were
Studio
invited onto that, so they were really excited about it. And they even have the behind the scenes of that. I mean, there's a ton of content out there. A little bit more about the comeback. What was kind of fun is Rocky has an MC job, as it's a show that's Chinese based, and he interviews various K-pop idols when they're doing their promotion periods, and he even interviewed one of the, I'm gonna get in trouble for not remembering, the Blackpink chick that had a solo recently.
Rose.
Jenny?
No, Rose.
Rose, right?
I think it was Rose.
Yeah.
She
Uh,
had
Rose
a solo
was the
last
most
month,
recent
so-
one. Yeah.
Anyway, I won't commit to which one it was. He interviewed one of them that usually doesn't like, is kind of uncomfortable with men. And I guess he had just a really good rapport with her because he was just so sweet and gentlemanly and stuff. And so like a lot of the Blackpink fans like really appreciated that. And so then they kind of started looking at Rocky's so sweet. And then they started looking at Astro stuff. But the reason I bring it up is, so he's an MC of that show. So Astro went on Rocky's MC show. Then over here, like MJ's a host of another idol-based show. So they went on that show. It was fun seeing them, because it's the first time all those members have had all these MC gigs to where they can.
You gotta hype up your bros, right?
Yeah, so it was funny to see like they would pretty much just give each other a hard time when they were on the shows. That's really all it was. And they would also pull when the one member would be the MC, and then they'd be like, "Oh, Rocky's not here," and then Rocky would like answer a question as Rocky, but then he would leave and go back to the door. It's ridiculous. And when MJ did that, he'd like take off his glasses and like run behind something and pretend like he just got to the studio. Like, why'd you guys leave me? It was just really silly. So I was really busy with that and not sleeping because that's that. But I did listen to some other stuff. But if you haven't listened to one, go listen to one. It's good.
So good. It's good,
And
y'all.
it's very atypical of Astro. So like it's a good time. I don't know if I mentioned this last time. I don't think I did. But Stalker by Third Eye, maybe I did. But it's good. They have cool hats. Go watch it.
Yes.
Checkmate. They are I'm sorry if I already mentioned it.
I think we did talk about Checkmate.
Okay.
They got
We already
done
talked
dirty,
about Checkmate.
right? Didn't they get done dirty by their
Yeah. I don't know if we talked about it but yeah.
What happened?
Because their song is like too close to card.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
The
I
reason
think
why that's bad is because they're a co-ed group, just like
Yeah.
Card, so they didn't need that kind of attention.
They're already going to be compared, and then their company's making it more difficult.
Mhm. Kim Jae Hwan, I think he was a part of 101 forever ago, if I'm guessing right.
I think so.
He had a solo song called I Wouldn't Look For You, and he plays the guitar. It's a gorgeous song. It's just a really pretty song. I kept seeing him on all the music shows, and it was always a good song. Renegades by One OK Rock. I play that song way too much. So it's also a good music video. It's very socially aware. Like they tried to bring some of that stuff to it. Because looks like some of these were from last time. Ace released, I might have already said this, but Ace did release a single featuring Gray. It's a good song. It's fun. It's in English. Check it out. Do or Not by Pentagon. There's an English and Chinese version now in case you were waiting for that.
I was waiting for what you've listened to from Pentagon this time.
Well, they dropped that.
Yeah, I think that was-
It's hard for me when I'm listening to the English version. I keep thinking about the Korean version though, so it's good. They did a very good job with English. I admit I have not listened to the Chinese version yet. Maybe I should. Maybe that'll be next month. Hey, I listen to the every month. Do a new do or not version.
Maybe there'll be a Japanese version by the 4th month. You can,
Yeah,
just keep it going.
yeah. I think a chunk of mine was still from last time, so.
It's always hard too because you look at it and you're like, I know I mentioned this. Oh wait, was that just a hump day? Like maybe,
Yeah. And yeah, I definitely have the first Taxi Driver OST on here. Really good by YB Silence. So good. Really good song.
It's really, really good.
And I do like the Drunk Days in Hypen song.
Yes,
I admit I was
catchy.
exposed to the song via like Twitter edits of other group idols. And so I fell in love with the song and then I watched the choreo. The choreo is nice. I wouldn't have put it with that song though, quite. I still think it's really good. But the song sounds more erratic to me. The choreo is still very put together mostly. I was kind of imagining like a Go Crazy 2 p.m. thought of just some insane stuff going on. They didn't go that hard. But
That's a shame.
it's okay. If you desire that, go watch Go Crazy by 2 p.m.
Yeah. It's already there. It's
Maybe
there waiting for
you could maybe watch that music video and just listen to the other song too. It'd probably be a good edit, actually, if someone's into that. I'm too lazy though, so I will not be doing that. I will leave
But
that
if you're
to someone
listening and this inspires you,
Yeah.
then make sure you tag us when you post it.
else. And we will retweet. And I will admit, usually when I watch music shows, when Astro's promoting, I used to be very good at watching all of the other people performing. I've been tired, so I would mostly sleep while I was, sleep, kind of peak for a second, go back to sleep. So
That's
I didn't
legit.
catch near as many people as I usually would. They all seemed very nice, though. Usually I would fall in love with about 3 other songs by then, but
Yeah.
I've been tired.
Hey.
It happens. It happens, man.
Would we like to talk about any music that we know is going to be coming out that we're looking forward to?
What else? There's something coming out.
Yeah, there was something, but I was like, I should remember. Do I? No, of course not.
Like that would require brain power.
One Us is going to be coming out, and for me, that's usually a pretty good bet that they'll probably end up liking whatever it is.
And Highlight's having a comeback.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Oh.
So I'm pretty excited for that. I do like Highlight quite a bit.
I know that they were on Knowing Bros recently.
Yeah. And Monsta X has a Japanese single coming out next month too, I believe.
That's cool.
There's a couple of girl groups coming out. Oh My Girl and GWSN have stuff coming out. Ailey. I need to actually look it up. The vocalist. She's coming out. I think just today was a release of the teaser for it. So.
I think Eric Nam just
Eric Nam just posted he was coming
did
out.
or is having something coming out
Mine.
shortly.
I feel like ITZY is going to be coming out too.
ITZY's tomorrow, along with the Black Skirts, which is a really great indie singer. Tomorrow, as in the 30th, like Friday, not the when this podcast is airing. Sorry, time is weird.
Time is weird.
NCT Dream has a comeback coming up in May.
Oh My Girl. So yeah, there's some good stuff. I'm sure there'll be more. They always like to spring these on us and just be like, "Oh, by the way, here's an album that we just dropped," and we're like, "What?"
Yeah, that's so hard. Like I try to keep up with them, and I haven't really kept up with them past couple days. But then again, a lot of them will show up like a day before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh,
The website that I'm on is like, here are the ones with dates, and here are the ones that are going to come sometime this year, maybe. Like Big Bang at the top, and to anyone. And I'm like, all right, now you're just throwing out wishful thinking stuff. You're just hopeful. Like, there's like, they should and they could. And you're like, okay, but like, is that really post-worthy? All right.
Sarah Barrios is the song that Eric Nam is going to be featured on. And it comes out again tomorrow.
Yeah, like I think he posted today, he was like, if you're in this time zone, it might be out already. If not, I'll see you tomorrow or something. It's like, okay.
Blitzer's debut on the 12th? I don't even... Let's guess. What do we guess Blitzer's is? Is it a male or female group?
Girl.
Okay, hold on.
Maybe just because I'm thinking of...
So we have two girls.
Yeah. Well, you never know. But it kind of feels
There's
like...
not a number in it, therefore it's a girl group.
Well, you were
if
all
the I
wrong.
was a 1...
Is it a
You were
boy
wrong. It's a pre-debut boy group under Wuzu Entertainment. Its meaning is rush towards the world with our music and dance.
Like, okay, sure.
I guess it was originally Wuzo Circle. Yeah.
I always think it's funny when there's, when there's a group that works on forming for a year or two and they go do all this work and they have to be under some name. It's always something like the label name. So it's like,
like 80s was KQ fellas.
Yeah, it'll just essentially be boys from label, girls from label.
Label name, gender.
And then at some point they get given a name.
Yeah.
And they're like, we've decided this.
Like, listen, you have to earn your actual name. You have to work through your label first.
I wonder how long it would be, like, that feels like a gimmick that I could see a K-pop, like, a company going with. We're gonna, like, debut this group and the fans will pick their name, like based on what they feel from the song or something, I could see
that, but I could see it also being too hard,
frustrating,
because you wouldn't be able to get any of those names, because once they're like a potential, someone's going to take every single one of them and claim them on social media.
Yep, that's true. I saw Tiger JK was tweeting today in his like old man on Twitter kind of way, where he like has a thread but it's completely disconnected because he doesn't, I don't know how to do that. Whatever.
Like he'll end a tweet in a comma.
Yeah, like it just But he was talking about BB's new release that came out, I think, yesterday, and that they've been working really hard on that release as their label, because Feel Good is a small label, but that he said that there's music coming from MFBTY and from Yoon Murray, so that we should look forward to it. Now that BB's song is out, they can start working on some of the other stuff. So fingers crossed.
Look forward to that.
Oh,
and he was
BTS is also at the end.
Yeah,
of the
they've
month.
got something.
Yeah.
Single or something.
Maybe.
Oh, the butter thing.
Butter. Yeah.
That I think the teaser video was like over an hour long.
Then that's not a teaser video.
I think it was
movie.
just the noise of butter, though. Like, I don't think it really did. It's just kind of comical.
Okay. Just like butter ASMR.
I would love to see them doing that. Chimmy had a song called Butter, and they did like their butter like choreo where they were like buttering the bread or whatever. I'd love to see BTS doing that.
So this has been what we're listening to. Thank you for listening. We want to know what have you been listening to? You can always tag us when you're posting about stuff that you think we would enjoy. We love that because you could find us on Instagram, on Twitter is mostly where we are, but we have on all the other socials. And of course, there's always our website, certifiednoonas.com. And if you want to become an official member of the Found Family, you can go to patreon.com/certifiednoonas to support our podcast. And we love all of our Found Family members. Also, we have an upcoming movie night for our Found Family too. So that's something that we're going to do every month. just to have a little bit of fun with everyone, online. So it's going to be a good time. Anyways, check back in on Wednesday because we've got another episode of what we're watching. Well, we switched it up. Sometimes we usually do it the other way, but we like to keep you guessing.
Keep you on your toes.
Yeah, keep you on your toes. So we'll see you again on Wednesday, and have a fantastic start to your week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.